This video tutorial I will explain what is authentication and what is authorization. To understand authentication and authorization, take the simple scenario of you are going to office or your institution and you are an employee or student there. You enter the gate and you show your ID card to the security guard and then you are allowed to enter the building. At this point, you are authenticated to enter the building and anyone with ID card of office or institute thereby authenticated to enter the building. And similar to this, application use authentication by allowing users to log in. Now you are inside the office campus or institution, and once you are in, you decide, okay, today should be a holiday, and you ask a security guard to close the gates and go home. So once you say, the guard would immediately ask, are you a authorized person to do this? Because only head or dean allowed to make such decision, not the ordinary employee or students like you. And similarly, whenever you perform operation in the application will first check if you have right permission to perform the task. If you have right permission, then only you can perform the task. Else, you cannot perform the task. Authentication is basically the process of system verifying that you are who say you are. And authentication is most commonly done using username password combination. And there are other ways of authentication such as card based or biometric scanning, etc. And it is basically any way of verifying your identity. And it can be as simple as pin or pattern which you are using to unlock your phone. But there may be multiple factors of authentication. We can take example of you logged into Gmail or any other service using username and password combination. If username and password combination is validated, then it will ask you to enter the OTP which is sent to your mobile phone. And this is called two-factor authentication. If username and password and OTP is proper, then only you can log into the system. Factors of authentications are basically factors that can be used to verify your identity. And these factors can broadly be categorized into three categories. And the first one is something the user knows, like credentials, security question, and PIN. And the second one is something the user has, like a card, OTP on the phone, and Google Authenticator. And the third one is something the user is, like biometrics, fingerprint, retina, voice, and signature. So whenever factors of authentication increases, the security level also increases. And there are three types. The first one is single factor authentication, which is simplest among all. And it uses just one level of authentication. For example, you have to enter your username and password or only PIN. And the second type is two-factor authentication, and it combines two parameters to verify your identity. And most common two-factor authentication is you have to enter your username and password, then you have to enter the OTP which is received on your phone. And one more example is whenever you go to ATM center, you have to insert your ATM card in the ATM machine. And after that, you have to enter the ATM pin to withdraw the money. So in this case, two parameters were used. The first one is card and the second one is pin. And this is also example of two-factor authentication. The third one is multi-factor authentication. This is the most advanced form of authentication which implements multiple level of security. And this is most commonly used in banking services due to the need of high security. For example, multi-factor authentication may use user credentials, ID card, and OTP on phone to verify the identity. Authentication verified who you are. Now it is time to determine what you are allowed to do, and this process is called authorization. And in other words, authorization deals with determining the set of permissions that you are given. And authorization is done only after successful authentication. Authorization is typically done by assigning roles to the users. The roles have a specific set of permissions defining the access levels of the user. To explain this, we can take office scenario. In the office, you are the software developer, and you are assigned the role of software developer. And software developer role, there will be set of permissions are defined, and there will be other roles are there like team lead, manager, CEO, etc. with different access levels and set of permissions, which means with software developer role, you might not be able to access certain files, but your manager can access the file because in his permission that is allowed, and he is the authorized person to access the file. Here is the conclusion. Authentication is who are you, and authorization is what are you allowed to do. And access to the system is protected by both authentication and authorization. Only upon successful authentication and authorization, user to allowed to access any resource. Firstly, the user is authenticated to verify the user identity, and upon successful authentication, it is checked if the user is authorized to access or update the resource. Even if authentication succeeds, if authorization fails, then user won't be allowed to access or update the resource. You can get Java source code link for each video in the description section of the video. Here you can see the description section. Click on show more, and here you can see the Java source code links. Click on these links to get the Java source code.